back in the day, and I have a couple of like me, Mike Daly, Adrian McKenna, like we'll tell y'all, like nobody was trying to write with us. We would come back from South Korea, like y'all want to do some sessions for K-pop, and the US writers would be like, sis, like no, we're not interested in what's K-pop. Those same people, right? About 2 years ago, blowing our phones. Can we get a K? Oh, no. Because y'all wasn't rocking with us when we was trying to write it with y'all back in the day.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Dame Diddy.
Ambitious Ace.
Bang Bang Boomerang. Sorry.
And we have one of the most accomplished, great personalities, songwriters, artists, actually, great voice if y'all don't know. Entertainers and songwriters for K-pop. We have Chikk here with us today. How you doing today, Chikk?
I am amazing, and I'm so excited to be here with you guys.
Oh, we're looking forward to it as well. I'm too bad your cat left. I thought the cat was going to make a special appearance in the video.
So it's definitely a dog, but
That was a dog?
I don't do cats. I'm like, there's a cat,
I thought that
Miles.
was a cat.
We got to pause the
I thought that was
interview.
a cat.
It's my doggy, and he is actually 16 years old, but he's the love of my life.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful.
Man.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Oh, so
He
he's
might be
OG.
back. He might be back.
Okay, so first question starting off, I need to know, why is your name Chikk? How do we come to this?
I love this question so much. So when I was born, before my melanin decided to pop on in, right? Like my color wasn't there, so I was really yellow, and I had little to no hair on my head, but I had one patch right in the front, just thick, right in the front. And so they actually called me Little Chickie. So it was like little chicken, little chickie. And as I got older, it evolved into Chikk, and it just stuck.
Love
That's
it.
nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's sweet.
Love it. So what first got you into music? You know, what inspired you? What's that story like for Chikk?
So you guys, I've been singing since I was 4 years old. I'm talking about
Wow.
in front of my mom's hair salon, Yankee Doodle went to town, giving full performances for anybody coming in to get their hair done. You want to hear a song? I was ready, 4 years old. My mom put me in training at 8 years old. And at 11, I went into like this vocal coaching class, and the guy was listening to a country song. So at my house, we only listened to gospel, okay? Gospel and then Earth, Wind, and Fire. That's all. You know what I mean? That was playing.
That's my heart.
So I go in and I hear this country song. I'm like, what is this? And so I started writing so that I could hear country because I didn't know where to find it at this point. So I'm like, I'm just going to, we didn't have radio. My mom didn't play that, okay? So I'm like, I'm just going to write what I heard. And that's how I started songwriting at 11 years old. And then at 15, I started professionally recording. By 18, I had my first deal by Chris Brown Entertainment.
Wow.
I didn't take that deal, but I did end up doing my first deal with the Underdogs. And they're who took me to South Korea, and the rest is history.
Wow, beautiful.
Yep.
Yeah.
All my life.
Oh my God. That's a journey.
Yep.
So I guess with that experience, how do you control it? Have you mastered your creative art over time, or is it just something that comes to you, or do you have a system in place?
Oh my gosh. Songs come to me everywhere. Okay. When I say everywhere, I mean everywhere. My voice memos are out of this world. I have been hearing melodies all my life. And I think it started at 11 when I'm trying to find it. But my aunt would tell me when I was even younger, I would be writing on the walls. I got a whooping for sure. She told me she did whoop me. But I was writing even at 6 years old, right? And I was trying to create these stories even when I was young. So then getting older, I think having that country background, being a performer, by the time I got to South Korea, I was on fire. I didn't know anything about K-pop, but I was
Mm.
ready to go because it was just in me at this point. Years of finding melodies and loving music, all genres, from country, pop, R&B to gospel, rock and roll too. You know what I
Oh,
mean? So I was just ready. I still am. I'm always on 10.
man, that's crazy. I love that. So, my question kind of comes down to, you signed with the Underdogs, right?
Yes.
I've read that you wrote some songs prior to that. You did some stuff with Jennifer Hudson. You actually went to the White House with them and performed the unreleased
Wow.
song. Is that true?
It's so true. Oh my gosh. Wow, you're taking me back right now. So I got to Harvey in, I want to say June, end of June. We were in South Korea together by July. I signed my deal
Mhm.
with him by August. And so it happened very, very quickly. And right after we came back from Korea, I did a song for Jennifer Hudson. It wasn't released, but it was really, really good. And Harvey was like, "Do you want to go to Washington, D.C. with me? I'm going to the White House." I was like, "No, no, no, this is crazy." So we actually went to DC. It was my first time in first class. I was like, look at all this leg room. Like I didn't even know. It was like I was so like young and excited. Harvey was the best publisher ever. And we get there and he's like, "We're going to speak and then I'm gonna have you sing the song." And I'm like, "Wait, what?" So yes, I got to perform for the Recording Academy board. So I got to
Mm.
sing the song that we wrote for Jennifer Hudson for them.
Oh man.
Is that like one of your most scared moments? Like, were you scared for that? Like,
Y'all
or
know,
were you just ready? You just
y'all, I feel like I'm more scared now after years of being in the industry.
Mm.
Back then, and you know what it was? I had a mother and she convinced me I was Beyonce. Like she can like it's a funny, but I'm talking about she was Joe Jackson, right? She was Michael Jackson's father. Like did not play games. But also
mm,
everywhere, oh, this is the next Beyonce. Honey, show them, show them. And at this point, when I think back on it, I just was talking to her the other day. I was like, thank you so much because I
mm,
really never felt less than. Like I was in the room with
Yeah.
Ariana Grande writers, real Beyonce writers. I'm a little girl, nobody, and I'm showing up like I'm them. But it was really because my mom convinced me of how special I
Mm.
was so young. And yeah, and I really appreciate her for that. So no, I was not scared.
that's amazing.
Because
Yeah.
it seems like your mother, because well, indeed, one of your heroes,
Yep.
and that's great. I love hearing that. Do you have any musical heroes, like anybody that has influenced you while growing up? I know
Mm.
you mentioned you in a gospel household. Was it in gospel artists or any other artists like that?
You know what? I loved Tina Turner. She
Okay.
was
Oh.
one of my favorites. She was fearless on stage.
Mm,
Right?
that's
From
right.
her note choices to her
Yeah.
dancing to her stopping and talking in the middle of like she just owned the stage. And so I loved her. I loved Jimi Hendrix.
Mm,
I wanted to play guitar really young, but more than that, Jimmy just had this like quiet greatness about him.
Mm.
And I think I just always resonated with it. And of course, Michael Jackson.
Oh
We
yeah.
actually have the same birthday. So I'm born on Michael Jackson's birthday.
Hey.
And
Okay.
I've always held that so dear to my heart. I feel so connected to him in so many ways. But yeah, those would definitely be my musical heroes.
I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So my question is, how do you stay in the like creative space? Do you
Mm.
have like believe in like what is that, affirmations, or do you have like a ritual that you do to kind of keep yourself in that creative space?
Come on, rituals. Come on, bang, bang, boomerang. Let me think. I do a lot, but honestly, you guys, it's my faith. Like I've been through
Yeah.
so much. Like I've been through so much. Like I even went under a semi truck in 2017. I know that's random, but I literally went underneath a semi truck. Like my life came
Wow.
this close. And so both my feet broke off my body. My right leg broke off my body. My left arm completely chopped in half. So this is all
Oh.
metal. My right leg is metal and my feet were put back together with metal. I had to learn to walk again. So when it
Wow.
comes to like how I keep going, it is truly God and me being a miracle. I'm like, I'm not here for like I'm here for a reason. Like I didn't
Mm.
survive that for nothing. And I think even more now, I'm more pushed by, okay, God, what do you want me to do here? Like there it has to be something. And I know K-pop is a part of it, but it has to be bigger than that. And that's honestly what
Yeah.
keeps me going every day, because the music industry is hard, right?
Mhm.
It's a lot of pretentious people, it's a lot of broken people. I was broken
Mm.
at one point, probably still broken in some areas. And so how do you maintain that? How do you build a legacy? You have to have a faith that you can stand on. Like, even when the songs are being rejected, even when people don't call you into the camp, you have to have just this anchor of, but I'm still here for a reason, or you'll start to doubt and lose heart. So for me, it's really my faith,
Mm.
Oh my
Man, that's
gosh.
powerful.
right?
Powerful.
Well,
Thank you.
I just want to commend you because I I couldn't, imagine going through that type of experience. And you're sitting here, bright smile and everything, and just still pushing. So I mean, I'm glad you're still with us, and I'm glad you're
Mm,
walking and everything. So it surely is a
Yeah.
blessing.
thank you guys. Wow. Thank you.
So I want to go back. You know, the underdogs come to you. They say, "Hey, we're going to South Korea. We want you to come, and we want you to work on this genre of music called K-pop." Like, what's going through your mind at this point? You're about to go to a country you probably never even been to. You're about to work on a genre of music you've never heard before.
Right.
You're about to go where not too many people you at the time you probably think can communicate with you. Like, what's going through your head? Like, you're about to go into a room with a whole bunch of other songwriters. Like, what's the vibe? How you feeling?
Harvey's coming to me talking about, all right, we're going to South Korea. I'm like, what's in South Korea? He's like, K-pop. What's K-pop? He's like, Korean pop. I'm black. Like, this is not making any sense. What is happening? Where are we? What are we doing? And he's like, yeah, so K-pop is a genre. It's Korean pop, but they are really influenced heavily by R&B and soul.
Mm,
And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. And he's like, and, they'll put us up in a hotel. They're going to feed us. I'm like, oh, you should have led with that. If they're going to feed us, let's go. You should have led with that. And I always tell that story, and it's very, very true. And we flew across the country. I get there and they sit us down. I kind of knew the writers because we all worked at the Underdog camp together, but still fairly
Okay.
new. But we
mm,
all came in together, same flight, all of that. And so we get there and they pull up a screen and they like pull up Girls' Generation, and it's like 55
Wow.
girls. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, is this the whole group? Is this a couple artists? No, this is one group. I'm like, it's literally 9 girls up there. And they're like, yeah, that's how we do it. And I'm like, who sings? And they're like giving us the whole rundown. And I'm so intrigued. And so we go to write just based off of what they told us they wanted. I left that first camp with 2 number ones.
Mm.
mm,
I
Wow.
don't even know what happened between seeing the 1100 girls, and I'm just kidding, seeing the Girls' Generation and the studio like 2 weeks later. And then in that first year, Overdose by EXO and Mr. by Girls' Generation came out.
Ooh.
And Girls' Generation was like Time Magazine best song of 2014. It was like, I was like, what's happening? I went back 3 months later, and then I left with another number one. This is when I did like Trigger as well and Light Me Up. And it was just naturally coming out of me. And this is when I'm back in America and I'm like, something's here. And I literally like put my pin down metaphorically for the US. And I just
mm.
dove into K-pop. I'm like, something is here naturally. Let me skill it. Let me figure out how to master it. Let me lock in. And I've had 14 trips in my
Mm.
entire career. So it was just, I mean, that's how it happened.
That's
Well,
amazing.
I'm glad you mentioned Trigger because I don't know if you see it as a shiny hat. So I'm a
Period.
I'm a big fan,
Period.
and I was just like,
Respect.
oh, she wrote Trigger. Oh man.
Yeah.
But that being said, that drastic change, you're
Yeah.
going like Dame was mentioning. How did your creative process evolve? I'm
Mm.
pretty sure you weren't used to writing for 9 members or even multi-member groups. So did you have to, develop some new techniques or anything
Yeah.
like that? And how did you adapt that to your writing style?
That's such a great question, Ace, because as a woman, I got a few different personalities anyway. So at this point, it just gave them all a chance to shine. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm in the studio. I get to rap. I get to sing. I get to sing rap. I absolutely loved it. It naturally came out. But over time, I realized what I was doing. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm locking into different sounds for different members. One of the things that I do that I think is a little different from a lot of writers, especially even my friends, we talk about this, is I don't actually think about the group when I write. It's
Oh,
I want to like do something that I haven't heard. I'm always saying how I can push the envelope. How can I do an intro that hasn't been done before? What's a sound that hasn't been heard? Like I love being, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, right? We got a lot of songs still in the chamber that because I
Okay.
probably just went two to the left, but it is literally my favorite thing. And to this day, I stay innovative. I stay looking for the melody that hasn't been done. So I don't think about the group and what has happened in my career. A lot of those songs find themselves like right for NCT, it finds itself over here. Right for Red
yeah.
Velvet, it finds itself over here. And they just kind of mix and match. But I think that's because I always just was looking for the best song, not like the best song for a group. And they
Right.
find their homes just sometimes on different artists.
Yeah.
I love that. All right, so you kind of answered my question.
Oh.
So that was so cool. But so let me transition to this. Kind of coming in that phase, I think we're kind of in a new generation of K-pop.
Mhm.
Do you feel like that sound has changed and has it impact your writing style at all?
It has changed so much, right?
Yeah,
Like
Mhm.
it's more Western known,
yeah,
um, which I think is cool. I think it's cool. I do miss like old school K-pop days, where it was just really harmony heavy,
Mm,
a little less English. I love English. Obviously, that's my first language.
right.
But I really appreciated like the Korean record. So sometimes in English, I'm like, I'm just not getting the vibe that I
Mm,
used to get. I know a little Korean, but not a lot. But it still was exciting to find a Korean word and like throw it into the song. Like I would always find a couple Korean words and put it into my English demos. Like that was like a part of the fun. I think the new music is still good and it has affected my writing tremendously. I have a lot of young writers that I write with, like, keep me young, honey, keep me young. And I have like an
dope.
online K-pop academy, and actually some of my girls have gone
Nice.
on to like place and after being coached by me for just a few months. Like it's actually been insane. But yeah, definitely, I just keep myself surrounded by really fresh songwriters. It keeps me sharp, and then I get to give them a little bit of my drip, drip, sauce, sauce, and they get to give me some of the current, and it's working out amazing. And that's probably what I'll do moving forward.
Love it.
Yeah,
Yep.
I want to piggyback off of that.
Yeah.
Like how, you started writing in 2013, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got into K-pop 2018-ish.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
it's like, how has it been watching that, from
Mhm.
like a fan standpoint and watching it actually grow, especially over here in the West? How
Mm.
has that been for you as a writer, watching just the popularity of it is getting more known now?
Yeah.
How has that been for you as a writer and just on the outside looking in?
Yeah. Such a good question. Y'all, back in the day, and I have a couple of like me, Mike Daly, Adrian McKenna, like we'll tell y'all, like nobody was trying to write with us. We would come back from South Korea, like, y'all want to do some sessions for K-pop, and the US writers would be like, sis, like, no, we're not interested in what's K-pop. Those same people, right? About 2 years ago, below in our votes, can we get a K? Oh, no. Because y'all wasn't rocking with us when we was trying to write it with y'all back in the day. It's definitely, and then if you are in the US, you'll get like a couple songs and they're like, oh, that's easy. But to build a legacy where you get song after song after song, it's an
Yeah.
art. So then K-pop became, oh, that's easy. I'm like, okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
K-pop is more complex than American music by far, right? Like we don't play games when it comes to chord progressions. We don't play games when it comes to musicality. So you think it's like bubblegum, but you have no idea the work and how intricate it is
Oh
creating
yeah.
these songs.
Mhm.
So to build a career out of it, yeah, you gotta really love K-pop and you gotta know what you're doing.
Right.
So that was really exciting to see everyone blowing up my phone and wanting to work. And I use it to leverage now. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And I love
As you should.
everybody, and everyone's
As you
cool,
should, as you
as
should.
I
Yes.
should. I think I answered your question because that's just so funny. I don't think I've ever mentioned that, but it's really great. I think I was a part of kind of seeing the transition come over to America. So that was really cool. I think it was one of EXO's songs amongst like some of the first ones to come over to the US Billboard charts. So that was
Mhm.
really, really cool to be a part of that. That was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
Right.
that actually leads into my next question. So
Yeah.
when you think back to the people that were involved in that trip, I don't know how accurate the list I saw
Mm.
was, but I saw your name up there. I saw Priscilla Renee's name up there. People
Yep.
may know her as Money Long now. The
Yep.
Underdogs, Kevin
Yep.
Rudolph, JQ, the Stereotypes. All of you guys, like the y'all brought the second gen stars into third gen,
Yeah.
and y'all steered
Mm,
third gen into a more international like stance when you think of like
Mm.
success on charts in other countries.
Mm.
So when you think back about that, like I wonder like how does that make you feel when you actually think like you can easily make the case like EXO and SHINee and Girls' Generation and everything, they were able to transition into the new sound based on that trip of people that came through. Like, how does that make you feel
mm.
knowing that you're partially responsible for them being relevant today? Like their sound still being relevant.
Dang, dang. That hit my heart a little bit. Um, dang. I don't think people acknowledge it a lot. So I think
Hmm.
that's why it's a little emotional. Cause I'm like, I haven't been acknowledged for that outside of the fans a lot. Um, but it means so much to me. And I think that that's why I transitioned a couple years ago to teaching, because I wish somebody would have taken me in a little more and been like, hey, do this, do that. But I seen the power. I seen what we did. I seen how we cultivated a sound. I
Mm,
seen it. And I was like, I got to teach people this. Like, I can't die without pouring out everything I know. And that's really how it's impacted me. um, but I hear it all the time. I hear it in the music. I hear the sound. I'm like, dang, we were doing that. Oh, that's cool. And it's an honor. It is an honor. It's an honor. And I'm so loved in the K-pop community. I'm so loved by the labels that I think for me, I feel like God like handed me a legacy, and I hold it very dear to me, and I'm grateful, and I just want to bring up the next generation to do the same thing.
That's amazing.
It's amazing. Beautiful.
Dang, that was emotional.
Yeah. So, man, it's tough to follow up a great question like that, Dane.
Yeah, Dave.
Uh,
yeah. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Dane.
I try.
but
I try.
let's see. Well, we're talking about the fandoms a little bit. And your response from the fandoms. How do you integrate feedback in your growth as a writer? If you see something
Mhm.
that the fandom is particularly excited about, a certain
Mm.
part of a song or anything like that, do you take that, okay, I'm gonna do something like that next time and I'm gonna elevate it, like those
Mm.
type of responses?
I think when they just love what they hear. I think it just encourages me to keep being me.
Mm,
When
okay.
you are a creative like this, it is very easy to conform to what's
Mm,
Mm,
popular in the
mm-hmm,
moment. And
mm-hmm,
so
Hmm.
one of the things I have really worked hard to do is to never get caught up in a moment, but to always stay true to who I am, even if it's not relevant to the moment. And that has worked for me. Like, I feel like it's preserved my melodies. I feel like it's preserved the joy that I have in making music. I just refuse to conform. But I've grown so much as well. Like, hearing these songs, the fans make the songs number ones, right? So based off of what goes number one, I know what the fan wants to hear. Like, I'm like, okay, I see what y'all doing here, right? I can see the stadium, I can see the arena when I'm in the studio room. When I'm in a little
mm,
box, I can see the stadium. And in that little box, it is my job to make sure the very first thing you hear on a song, you scream at the
mm,
top of your lungs.
Yeah.
I'm at the stadium in the studio. And so I do that for the fans. Like I want like when Kick It came on at the Staples Center with NCT 127,
Ooh.
the sound that erupted, and I'm like, yep, that's how we do it. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. So
Love it.
yes, I love their feedback, and I want them to continue to feel that with anything that I write.
Just
Good
to
stuff.
kind of like expand what A said. My bad. I mean to cut you off, man.
Good enough.
But like as far as the feedback when you're creating the song,
Mm.
because arguably you have to be uh in tune with the way people communicate. So when
Mm.
they're coming to you and they explain the recipe they're looking for the song, like how easy is it for you to translate that into a track?
Ooh, let me tell y'all, I am rebellious, okay? But let me tell you how it's supposed to go. They send you the lead and they say, this group is looking for this, this, and this. They want it to sound like this, and this for the purpose of this, and this. So I do that, and that because I don't want nobody telling me what to do. No. That's not why. Again, I do have a problem being boxed in. I'm working through this in a lot of areas in my life. But ideally, the labels just want hits.
Yeah.
So on this list of this is, right? It's all the number one hit songs on the US Billboard charts. It's literally anything right now that's number one by Chris Brown or anything that's number one by The Weeknd. These are the examples. So in my mind, I'm
Mm.
like, none of these songs even sound the same to me. So I love to I'm like, you just want to hit. You're basically saying, I don't get a hit every time, but you just want a
Yeah.
really great song. So,
Mhm.
and then the feedback is really cool because if you're in South Korea, what they'll do is, they'll come in and they'll listen to the first take. So with Kick It, they
Mhm.
came in the room and we had a line in there that I thought was going to be a little controversial. I'm just trying to kick it, call me Bruce Lee. And I was like, I think that's racist. I don't know. Is it? And so when the A&Rs came in, I'm holding my breath and they're like, oh no, we love it. So come to
Yep.
find out that's more like Chinese culture. So it was
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
really
yeah.
cool to implement it. And then they did the whole Kung Fu,
Mhm.
aesthetic. And so they got
Yeah.
excited. I was like, I don't want to be racist, but they came in and they gave us that feedback. So then we just, you know what I mean? We just rode the waves with it. So it's really exciting when you're in South Korea because the actual labels feedback is amazing. You see what I'm saying? But it's still for me, it's like make a hit song. Just make a really, really good song.
Man, that's some great questions, y'all. I'm sorry, I had to say
They
something.
are. David Ace coming through.
You know what I'm saying? I'm really enjoying this interview.
Me too.
And and Chick, you're so easy to talk to.
Thank
Like
you.
you're lighting up this interview, and I'm enjoying it. And
No.
I want to ask you, when it comes to making hits, are there like some kind of soft skills that
Mm,
maybe some people kind of look over, that really kind of help you hone yourself as an artist just to stay consistent?
What do you mean by soft skills?
So when we think of writers, we thinking just write a hit, write a hit, write a hit.
Right.
But a soft skill may be like the energy that you bring into a room when you're
Mm,
talking to an artist, so they feel a song and can express that emotion, or
absolutely.
striking a deal, or
Yeah.
reaching out to artists and making those connections and
Mm,
building a brand. You know.
so good. I did a video about this that I'm going to post a little later this week. Yeah, your character is everything. Your character, how you treat people, everything. Something I teach my girls, you go to a session with a new co-writer, you bring cookies. You know what I'm saying? Like you at today's age, you got to bring some gluten-free ones too, just in case,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
bring
right.
some cookies, right? Bring them a Starbucks. Character is so important. When you go into a room, how I like to look at it is the song is already written. You just have to find it and hear it. You cannot find it and hear it if you are not aligned. You cannot be aligned if you're not living a life of kindness, openness, generosity, fairness. And so if you're trying to cheat people, if you're trying to get more than what you did in the workload, if you're asking for more percentage, knowing that you cannot be aligned. If you are not aligned, you cannot hear the song that is already
Mm.
done. And so it's very important that you live a life of good character. You're going to fall sometimes. Yes, you're going to mess up. You're human. But the goal should be to treat people well. The money, the percentage, the number ones are not worth your network. You want
Mm,
people to call you back even when they don't like the song. But if you think your
Mhm.
talent is going to get you, you're going to send a song and they're not going to, and they ain't calling you back. But when they love you, you can send them 5 bad ones and they still picking up the 6th call. That's what
mm.
you want. That's how you build a legacy. That's how you build a career. That's how you build a life. And so for me, character is everything.
I feel like I want to write a hit right now. Like,
Man, I feel inspired. Really, really.
real talk.
Right.
Y'all are so
So
sweet.
so there's AI. I wanted to
Oh.
ask you about AI because I was just curious your thoughts on it. So I've
Mm.
seen people use it for good.
Mm.
I watched a video of Lupe Fiasco actually using it to give him ideas of how to kickstart songwriting. However, I've
Mm.
seen it be used in a way that looks like it could be problematic. I
Mm.
saw a news writer asked ChatGPT to write an article in the style of her, and she
Ooh.
was actually
Mm.
blown away. And I think even Marquise Brownie did a whole video where he had the ChatGPT write his monologue, and he was just like, "Now, didn't that sound like my monologue? Like that's kind of crazy." And considering the fact that AI basically learns from us. In other words, it
Mm.
would you can say, "Hey, Chappy GPT, can you write me a song in the style of Chikk?" And it would analyze the way you write your songs. Like, I'm just curious. Like, does the idea of AI worry you? Do you think it
Mm.
can be more beneficial in the long run, or do you
Mm.
think like labels may try to use it to try to get like a leg up to try to save some money because at the end of the day labels love money. So
Yeah,
I was
definitely.
just curious, as a creator, like what is how does that make you feel, like the idea of AI?
Dang. I think I don't know enough yet.
Mm,
Mm.
I feel like I don't know enough yet. I am a believer today, as of February 19th, 2024, in case they listen in 10 years. Um, as of now, I still feel like there's nothing like the human touch.
right.
I'm a
Yeah.
believer in that still right now. We still in the beginning, right? I didn't think Tesla was going to be a thing, right? So I say this very delicately because I just feel like there's nothing like the human touch. I feel like our thoughts and our fingerprint is still the most valuable thing to planet Earth. I believe that. But I think AI is really, I think it's cool if you use it correctly.
Mhm.
Anytime, this is going to be, it's a little deep. I feel like it's a little deep. It sounds deep in my head. Let's see how it sounds when it comes out. But if you start to use AI in a way that is destructive, you're only going to get away with it because AI still does not overpower spiritual law.
Mm,
Spiritual law is you reap what you sow. If you use AI to be destructive, AI is not above spiritual law. And so it's always going to hurt you in the end. I believe in that. So if
Yeah.
AI is being used for good, I feel like I feel like we're gonna ride it out and we might get some really cool things in technology and other things. If you use it for bad, I just feel like you're gonna get what's coming. Spiritual law will always win.
mm.
Mm, take that.
Ooh.
But all right. So let me pivot a little bit. What is the most unusual source of inspiration you ever had for a song?
What? That's crazy.
Any type of like you did a certain run or you said something like, "Oh, I'm gonna put that in the song." Like any moment like that. Anything that
Hmm.
just seems out the blue.
So it wasn't a K-pop song. It was actually a song that went viral on TikTok that I did as a joke called Jesus is My Valentine. And I was
Mhm.
Oh,
literally
good one.
like, yo, if my man does not find me soon, you know what I'm saying? Like at this point, me and Jesus, we buddy like real hard right now. So it was a joke and that thing went viral. Okay. And I was like,
Okay.
oh, okay. So my singleness is amusing to y'all. No, I'm just kidding. I think it was just a whole bunch of other single women in America like, girl, yes, Jesus is my Valentine too. I'm like, sis, I'm happy, but also I'm not, but also awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so now every year since it went viral, people are just like, is Jesus still your Valentine? I'm like, y'all are very petty, but yes. Nonetheless, yes. So I think that that is probably the best way. to answer that question, that
Okay,
song.
okay. I'll take that. That's great. That's great.
Well, since Ace is going left field with questions, I guess I can go left field as well. All right. So I don't want to assume that all singers do karaoke, but if you had to sing a K-pop karaoke song as karaoke night, you're like, you know what? You got to pick one song. Do you have that song that you would sing?
Oh my gosh, that's so good. What would I sing? I would probably do Trigger's a really good one. Trigger's a really good one. Trigger's a really good one. What else would I do? I might do Kick It. Oh, we got to do
Oh.
Kick It for karaoke.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah, that would be fun.
don't call me. Kick It, don't call me.
Oh.
Or yeah, okay.
Don't call me.
No, you know what I'm saying? The
You know-
whole place would be lit
Yes.
when that came on.
Yes.
So you turn your cell phone off.
So
Absolutely.
that, as a SHINee fan, that was actually my first comeback. Like as a new SHINee fan. So that holds a special place for me. So I love that record. Like, is there any story behind that? Like about how that happened? Because
So many.
I would love to know.
I talked to Demjointz earlier today, actually, who produced "Don't Call Me." That was a great song. Oh my gosh! And he had the sample first. Did he have the sample first? I think he had the sample first. So when he gave it to KENZIE and I think it was already on there. Like, don't want me, don't call me. And me and KENZIE were like, oh yes, we are about to have fun with this, and we did. We had so much fun. So Dem was in one room. Me and KENZIE are in another room, and he sent us a track. We sent back the vocals. He sent us the post-production. We cleaned it up, and then boom, it was out on SHINee, and it was fire.
Woo, yes.
So good. Demjointz is amazing.
Yes,
Oh,
he
absolutely.
is.
Yo, we know.
He is.
Yeah,
Amazing.
we're familiar. Thanks, Jay.
Oh yes,
we would
very
love to talk to
familiar.
Demjointz. That guy is a beast. He's been a beast for a very long time.
Very long.
time.
He's so and he's just as amazing on the inside as he is on the outside. Legit. One is the greatest guys, for sure.
Amazing.
So I have a question. I'm not quite sure, how labels are as far as if you could actually answer it though. So obviously when you work in the studio, there's a lot of sessions that you guys do that actually don't happen. So are there any songs that you just knew that was the one, but it just didn't work out that you can talk about?
There was one that me and Darkchild did called Hurry. It's a jam. And I think it was going to go to like to Boa. And it's more like a vibey. It's real like vibey. I definitely thought he was going to go. And he didn't. But I thought it was going to go. And it's a really cool song. I still be like jamming it in my house. So maybe it'll still find a home. But I thought that one would go. But I feel like any song I've done as a like actual single. There's another one called Queen that I did with Darkchild that I thought would go. So yeah, there's a couple. There's a couple. And maybe they'll still come out. You guys, there were songs that came out years after I wrote them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how the music industry works anyway.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes a while for it to land.
It takes a while.
So
yeah.
So have your musical tastes and influences changed over the years, as you've gotten more into K-pop and everything like that?
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
I feel like it has changed. I don't know. This is my question for y'all. Okay. As you get older, do you feel like you want to listen to less music, or is it just me?
Yeah, I actually do listen to less.
I listen to less.
Yeah.
It's like I'm just like, give me a good podcast. Give me a good, you know what I'm saying? Give me a good TV show with some popcorn, a little wine down. But it has changed, and I love jazz.
Yes.
Who am I? Okay, my father. I'm my father. That's who I am.
I'm a jazz guy too.
I just be playing jazz during the day, like Christmas jazz in the middle of June. I'm like, why do I have Christmas jazz on right now? But it's so good to my soul. Yeah. And I think it's really helping my ear, even as I create. Like that jazz has me really in a bag when I'm creating these days. And I've just been playing with some new harmonies and just kind of challenging myself to find just things I haven't found before musically. So yeah, I think jazz is definitely influencing me as I get older.
I mean, that makes sense. I feel like any type of jazz or type of instrumental sound is kind of like therapeutic.
It
and
is.
just kind of gets your
Yeah, kind of
mind at
cleansing.
ease, and
Oh,
ideas will probably just flow. So I can see that.
these guys are killing it on these jazz instruments, like just talented.
Yeah. Since you're kind of, I mean, obviously well versed and been in the space for some time now, do you like see or like a trend or a future for K-pop? I know it's a hard question, but
No, it is. I think it's definitely going to become even more westernized, like more
mm,
American groups, more
Hmm.
full English albums. Those are already
yeah,
coming out, being worked
yeah,
on. And so I think there's going to be a lot more of that. But I feel like it's also about to open up to a lot of non Asian cultures. I feel like we're about to have a
uh,
lot of mixed K-pop groups, black girls,
ooh,
white girls. It's going to be all kinds of girls in these K-pop groups. And that's so exciting because it's something that I wanted to see very early in my journey. And man, I was told some crazy stuff in these studios. Like, it will never happen. Like, they were
Mm.
not letting any other culture in this space of K-pop. So I was like, oh,
mm.
don't tell me never, because the rebel in me now has a personal vendetta to make sure that another culture ends up on your K-pop charts. So I'm excited to see these mixed groups, right? Like, I'm very excited. And I think that that's the future.
Love it.
Okay, Chick. We have a game that we
Oh,
like to play with people that we interview. Uh, we call this the Tune Trials, and I have 6 songs that you helped put together,
okay.
but I'm going to play it backwards and see if you can recognize what song it is hearing it backwards.
This is insane. Okay.
Are you ready?
Oh my gosh, yes.
All right, here we go. First one.
Why? Is it why?
Uh,
Yay!
can you tell us something about that song that nobody may know about?
Yes,
If
I
you even
co-wrote
remember.
that with, what'd you say?
I said, if you even remember.
Oh my gosh, I remember my my co-writer Dyson, who I absolutely love her. It might have been her first trip to Korea, but we did that. I mean, that was really her. That was really her idea. She was in her bag, and she's like, "Will you come in and help me just finish it out?" Because she was still a little newer to K-pop, and she brought me in. And I was like, "Yo, this song is crazy. I will absolutely help you finish it out." So I just came in and helped her finish out, and I was so grateful that she had me a part of that.
That's dope.
That's so dope.
Okay, you ready for the next one?
I'm very competitive, so I like when I win. Okay, go ahead.
Hey,
All right, here we go.
Okay. Oh, Bruce Lee, kick it. Kick it.
So that was produced by Demjointz. So can you tell
Yeah.
us something about the song that nobody may know of?
Ooh, well, one that Bruce Lee we thought was racist and it wasn't, thank God. Dang, what happened in this session? Oh, I worked with Mila. She was also new. I think this was her first K-pop camp as well. Very talented girl. And so that was really fun. This was my first K-pop camp with Demjointz too. So that
Oh
might
wow.
be that might have been me and Demjoint's first song ever together released.
Okay,
Really cool.
that's dope.
cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Ready for the next one?
I'm ready.
All right.
I don't like losing. I don't know what that was. It wasn't green light, was it?
No, I could play it again for you
One more
if you
time, one more
like.
time.
All right, here we go.
I know the that's all I remember that. I don't know what it is though.
Okay, here it is.
How did I not get that? It's okay. It's okay.
I mean, who listens to their songs backwards?
Yeah.
Nobody. You do. I do. You do, Dave. You actually, this is your game. I'm just kidding. I was kidding.
So can you tell us something about this song? Obviously, this was one of the first songs you did in
Yes.
Korea. This was your first trip, right?
Yep. What's a cool story people don't know about Mr. Mister? Okay, so that we didn't actually write the bridge in South Korea. So we wrote the whole song, and then actually when we came back to the States, Harvey came to me in the studio one night and was like, "Hey, they love Mr. Mister. Can you add a bridge?" And so I actually wrote the bridge in the States and then sent
Mm.
it over. And I wrote the chorus in one take. We were actually very
Wow.
discouraged, about to leave, and I was like, "Let me try one more pass." And who do you think you are? Just came right out, and it was crazy. But yeah, that's a really cool story too.
That's dope. Ready for the next one?
I'm ready. I'm getting this one. Oh, Overdose.
No.
One more time? Nothing, no. So I'm probably okay. One more
There you
time.
go.
No. Oh. Huh? It's the. Ooh, what is that from? I don't know. Dang it. I really thought it was Monster. Do y'all know what Ace and Bang Bang? Y'all know what it is?
I believe I
It's
do.
smart.
Dang it. Dude, it's
I don't want to be
All right.
wrong, so go ahead and play it.
play it.
Yeah, I knew it.
You wanna love me good.
That was a great section. You threw me off the first
That
time.
was a
That was good.
Section,
That was good.
Dang it.
Ooh.
So can you tell us something that we don't know about this one?
Dang, that song is good.
Yes.
It really is.
That's a
Yeah, it's
good
solid.
song. That's not even about me because I didn't make the song by myself. Like, that's a good song.
It really is.
I think, okay, so the lyrics on that part is next time you ring my line. Next time you want the love I got, just remember why your number is blocked. I don't want you know, so why do you even call? But I thought that was such a cold English line, and it was like, don't call
That is
me.
pretty cool.
It's so good.
It's solid. It's solid.
That song is so good.
It's so good.
Oh, good.
All right, I
Dang.
got two more. You ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
Girls.
So, can you tell us anything about this song?
That I did not write it for girls.
Oh, you didn't?
No, it was called
Really?
We Them Boys. We Them Boys, we them boys, we them boys. And they changed it to We Them Girls, we them girls, we them. It was definitely a boy record.
Oh, that's
Absolutely.
cool.
Wow.
Wow. Is that the only thing that changed? It pretty much just translated
Yep.
everything else.
It was all for boys. I love writing boy records. So if girls got a record of mine, it probably started as a boy record. But no, they kept the energy, the rap, everything the same.
Wow.
Yep.
That's dope.
That is
That's
dope.
All right, you ready for the last one?
Ready.
All right, here we go.
Oh, that
You
last
got it.
note almost got me. One more time. One more time.
All right, ready?
Oh, yes.
There we go.
I just heard Ace's little giggle. Sometimes.
I'm sorry.
Why? I
Monster
don't.
was there.
It's not Monster.
Yes, it is.
I love that song.
So this was what your second number one?
This was my third, I think. Third or fourth.
third. Okay. It's hard to lose count after a while, huh?
I know. I know.
Is there a story that you could tell us about Monster?
Yes, there is a really cool story. So Overdose had come out and it was really successful. So this was probably the third camp with KENZIE, and they were like, "Hey, can you guys give us another overdose?" And in my mind, I'm thinking like, we didn't even know overdose was overdose when we gave you overdose, so we was really planning for it. I wasn't.
The regular
So
dose.
KENZIE, we stressed out, y'all, for 2 days, stressed out trying to get a song. So the third day came, and I texted her and the A&R. I was like, "Yo, I'm not gonna come in today. I'm not giving y'all another overdose. I'm stressed at this point." And the A&R was like, "Can you just do one more try?" So I came in and I told KENZIE, I said, "I don't want to write another overdose. I just want to write a good song." And honestly, this is why a lot of my standards are what they are, because this is when it happens. And then Monster came the day that I decided to push through and just let it go, let go of the pressure. And then we literally wrote Monster, which ended up being just as big as Overdose.
I think I can speak for the guys and say it's documented on our channel that was one of the first songs where we were just like, yo, what? We went crazy over that song.
Y'all, for real?
Yes.
Oh yeah, for real, for real.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And that's
Why
one of
y'all
my
make me so
favorite. No, that's
emotional?
literally one of my favorite K-pop songs for real. So that
Dang,
song is
'cause
amazing.
in my mind, Ace, like I'm in the studio and I'm really just being. And so when y'all tell me stuff like that, I'd be like, "Dang, God, you're really cool. That's really
So when
cool."
you're
Truly
in the
amazing.
studio, like you kind of like eliminate all the
Yeah.
thought. Like you're not even thinking about
Oh,
like how many people are possibly going to hear this when it goes out. It's just
no,
like
I know that it needs to be good for everyone. Like I know that. But when I'm in it, oh, I'm in it.
mm,
And I have to give so much credit to KENZIE because what's made us such a really great co-writing team. She's amazing. She's amazing, obviously, in her own right. She's very technical. She's very focused. She's very like calculated and scientific. It's what makes her the genius she is. I'm very free, not I'm rolling on floors, jumping off couches. So you have this girl, right, calculated, and I get to be free and fly across the room. And she takes these melodies, and then she takes them, and she's like, "Do another one," and then I'm free, and then and these masterpieces come out. And I have to just give so much credit to her because I get to be myself in sessions with her, and I have a couple other like that, but you don't run into a lot where you just gel and make things that the world will really resonate with. So just so much love to her.
It's beautiful.
shout
Yeah.
out to KENZIE, man.
Shout out to
Shout
KENZIE.
out to
My
KENZIE.
girl,
Big
my
shout out.
girl.
Yeah, she is a hard person to get in touch with.
Oh yeah, you're not finding KENZIE. KENZIE doesn't exist as far as she's concerned. Okay, that is my girl, but you're not going to catch her. You're just never going to see her. You're never going to catch her. It's the mystery of KENZIE, and we
Absolutely.
love that for her.
So, Chick, we definitely appreciate you giving us the time for the
Yes.
interview and everything like that. Is there anything specific you want to shout out or you want people to check out, whether it's social media, the writing camp, or anything like that, where people can go to find and
Yes.
try things?
Absolutely. Thank you for that. So I do have an online K-pop academy, and we're actually
Mhm.
about to release in March our first K-pop boot camp series where
Wow.
we really boot camp you out, and the first series is on melodies. So I'm so excited about this release, and I'm also going to do a demo album that will be on YouTube only, and it's going to be some of my greatest hits but the demos. So that's going to be coming as well. So make sure you go to Chick's K-Pop Academy and then Chick Experience anywhere online. I'll be there.
That's great. Looking forward to that because we talk about it all the time. A lot of the songwriters, they have some of the most amazing voices
Oh
Oh,
in the
yeah.
world.
they do.
Like your rendition is super shy. Fell out of my chair. I was just like, man, that sounds incredible. I love the
Yeah,
way
don't
you
sound shy.
R&B'd it up. Like it just
Wow.
sounds so beautiful.
Thank
And even the video you
you.
shot for was nice too. I like
You
the
liked
way.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Let me find out. Y'all got me over here hype. I'm about to be a K-pop artist. Like, wait, who? Chick.
Hey,
Okay.
Hey,
Different
I'm
go
I
hair.
ahead.
want to hear it. I
Go
want to
ahead
hear it.
with
Your
it.
voice already
Yes.
ready for it.
Yes. I love that.
Okay, well, thank you for the interview. We really appreciate it. And shout out to everybody that's checking the video out. Go over and check out everything Chick's got going on. If you want to be a songwriter and you trash like me, go to her and she'll get you right. You know what I mean? She'll get you right. She'll have you writing some hit songs, and maybe you can meet KENZIE. You never know.
You never know. I barely make KENZIE. No, I'm just kidding. Who's KENZIE? Thank you guys so much for having me. This was an absolute blast. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.